Part 1. The Basics of Strategy.
Chapter 1. The Origins of Strategy and Strategic Thought.
Mark D. Solizzi.
Competition leads to strategy.
In 1934, Professor Gause of Moscow University published the results of a series of experiments that led to Gause's principle of competitive exclusion. This principle contends that no two species can coexist when they make their living in the identical way. When any pair, or more, of species compete for essential resources, sooner or later one will overcome the other. Without some form of intervening factor that helps to maintain equilibrium by providing each species an advantage in its own territory, only one of them will survive. For millions of years, this natural competition required no strategy. Survival was based upon the laws of probability. Strategy was not involved, rather, adaptation and survival of the fittest was the modus operandi. This pattern of survival exists for all living organisms. 1. Gause's principle, that competitors making their living in the same way cannot coexist, explains the phenomenon of competition. Similar entities often required the same resources in order to exist. As competition among entities for these common resources became more intense, ways to achieve an advantage became increasingly important. Each entity needed to develop something, a feature, survival mechanism, approach, or other means of differentiation, that provided it with a unique advantage. In the realm of human existence, competition first exhibited itself in the need to protect and preserve, to protect oneself and the other members of the clan from the elements and nature, and later from those who needed or coveted what they had. As the nature of man continued to change, there became an increased desire to use or possess what belonged to others. This often manifested itself in the form of forays into the territory, or raids on the possessions, of others. At first, these ventures were most likely conducted in a manner that was random and disorganized. As the powers of perception and cognitive abilities of human beings improved, the search for a better way began to emerge. This better way entailed the achievement of the desired result in a more efficient and effective manner. This desire for a better way was the very foundation of what was to become strategy. The unique combination of acquired wisdom, craft, and later science, has led to the creation of strategy and its use as a much sought-after skill. The utilization of strategy has changed the map of the world. Long before its application to commerce, it was responsible for the rise and fall of nations and their people. The taproot of what we know as strategy can be found in the history of the military arts. Looking back at this beginning provides the foundation for a more thorough understanding of the genesis of the discipline.